Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, and in today's workout, I'm going to walk you through a reformer workout. However, our warm-up is going to be a little different as I introduce some postural therapy exercises to improve your functionality and enhance circulation. It is going to finish off with a full body reformer workout. This is an all levels class, and I am working on a balanced body piece of equipment, so I will make the necessary recommended spring tensions for you if you are working on a different model at home. I will also link below different postural therapy videos if you do like the warm-up, and this is something you can do on an everyday basis, and they range anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. But before we get started, for those that are new, welcome. I have over 25 equipment workouts here on the channel. I'm also a master trainer, so if you're interested in becoming a Pilates instructor or improving your Pilates practice, I'm happy to give you more information on the certification. And also, Function Pilates is a groundbreaking franchise registered in over 30 states. So if you've been thinking about owning your own Pilates studio, I am happy to talk more about how you can get started with that. So everything will be linked in the description box below. And then for those who are ready to work out, let's go ahead and begin. Let's begin our warm-up by standing hip distance apart, standing up nice and tall. Make sure those toes are pointing straight ahead, arms out to a T. We're going to begin to side bend from right to left here, really reaching in opposition through your fingertips. This is best to do against a wall as well, but if you don't have a free wall, go ahead and slowly just start to. Make sure that you are standing up nice and tall, side bending from right to left. Take your feet out a little wider, and let's go ahead and continue. We're doing about 4 on each side here, and the goal is that you're tucking your tailbone under, not allowing those hips to roll forward, but you should feel a nice deep stretch along the side of your ribs. Keeping those arms nice and quiet like airplane wings. Take it out one more time, nice and wide with the feet, and again begin to side bend from one side to the next here. Keep in mind that the hips are going to stay very steady and still. Think about pushing the back of the knees behind you as you stand up nice and tall. And return. Let's come back to a hip distance apart position here. Bring those arms out, palms are looking at one another, and rotate. So opening out to one side, turning your head and rotating through the spine. At the same time, keep your hips squared, and you should feel a deep stretch going through your back, opening up through your chest and into your shoulder. Let's add a diagonal. So really reach up high to the sky, rotating, really stretching and reaching as far as you can. Continue to breathe at your own comfortable pace. And then just bring it back down by your side. Okay, so arms are beside you. Let's pinch your shoulder blades together, and we're going to add shoulder shrugs. So bring those shoulders up towards your ears and then releasing them. The goal here is to keep the connection between your shoulder blades the entire time and not releasing, taking it to about 10 repetitions. Arms are long, release your fingertips. Good, shake it out. And then once again, pinch those shoulder blades together and add a shoulder roll. So lift and roll backwards. Think of those shoulders running down your back pockets here. Our goal is to really open wide through the chest and just gets the blood moving through the back and increasing the circulation. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and take your hands, fingertips to the temples, thumbs to your chin. Bring those elbows together. These are standing elbow curls. And you should feel a stretch through the back of your shoulder. And again, I'm just going to 10. If you're feeling very tight, you may not be able to have your elbows touch, and that's completely fine. Let's go ahead and move to a place where you can either balance and hold onto the kitchen counter. And we're going to go into 3 position heel raises here. So parallel, lifting your heels up, exercising the toes, thinking about your body going straight up like an elevator. So it's a strong vertical position. Try not to lean into it. Think about each toe being exercised. Let's go to external rotation. So turn your toes outwards so you're in a wide V. Heels do not need to touch. Beautiful. Again, this is at your own comfortable breath. Lift and lower. You may hear or feel a few cracks happening in your ankles or your toes, and that's great. Bring those feet back to parallel and then turn them inward. So your big toes are looking at each other for internal rotation of the hip. Last set of 10 here. Beautiful. Lift those heels. Nice and slow with control, you're lowering your heels down. Good. From here, we're going to grab a yoga block. If you don't have one, maybe grab a couple books that you can stack. And depending how tight your calves are, it might not have to be super high, but it has to be a stable place where you can put your toes on and let your heels rest on the floor. Now, again, if your calves are tight, this is going to be very strong feeling of stretch in the back of your calves. Stand up tall, relax your shoulders. Think about pushing the back of the knees behind you. Double check that your hips are squared and that your hips are not rotating one in front of the other here. Do your best to breathe. This will get easier as you elongate those muscles more. And if you want to challenge yourself at some point, you don't even have to hang on. So that's a great way to track your progression. So take it into a standing quad stretch. Again, hips are squared. Your knees should be angled right towards one another, or at least doing the best to your ability to get them towards one another. And try to avoid hiking one hip up higher than the other. To increase the stretch, point your right knee down towards the floor. Switch when you're ready, and we're doing about anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds here. So pick and choose what feels better for you this morning. Shoulders are down. Good. When you're ready, go ahead and releasing that foot. We're going to go ahead and come back to a hip distance apart position. Go ahead and bend through those fingers, arms out wide to a T. Thumbs are facing forward. Pinch the shoulder blades together and go into front circles. So you're circling forward, but the shoulders are pinched together, and we're going to about 20-25 here. Hold it, go backwards. Flip your palm to look up at the ceiling and circle backwards, again 20 to 25. Notice if one shoulder or arm feels stiffer to you. Perfect. And then rest it down. Take a nice wide stance here, but feet are still parallel, so those toes are looking straight ahead, hands to hips. We're going to hinge forward, coming to a flat back. You should feel a stretch in your hamstrings, and then squeeze those butt cheeks as you come back up to standing. Hinge it forward, stretch out the back of the legs, squeeze the glutes, and come to standing. Good. So really extending the spine here. Getting a nice deep stretch through the back of those legs. Making sure that the heels are staying connected to the floor. And then you're not shifting your weight too far back or too far forward. Do a gentle roll down. Connect those fingertips to the floor and just walk it over to the left-hand side. Relax your shoulders, drop your head, breathe. Feel it intensify on the left side. And when you're ready, walk it over to the right side. Stretching into it. Try not to roll your hips forward or rotate. Coming back through the center, go ahead and carefully roll yourself back up, shoulders down and away. Perfect. So from here, let's just get into some nice gentle neck stretches. So tilt your head to the right. Reach your left fingertips towards the floor as far as you can, and you should feel this in the lower part of your trap, right above your shoulder. Switch to the other side. Reach those right fingertips all the way down, just getting longer through your arm. Good, one more variation, come through center, tilt your head right, a gentle reach with your right ear to your shoulder and reach those left fingertips down again, and it should feel like it's getting a little higher up in the neck, into the upper trap. Other side, not even a pull, it's just like a gentle reach, ear to shoulder. And then release it. Beautiful. So let's get started with our footwork. Whatever feels good for you. I have 2 reds, a green, and a yellow spring, which is 3.5 springs. It's nice, comfortable, medium weight. We're going to line those heels up parallel. Toes are looking up towards the ceiling with those arms down beside you. Take a nice stretch there to standing. And then once you're ready, go ahead and carefully soften those knees and press it out. And just do a nice double check here. If you look left and if you look right, you can see if you are actually squared in the center of your headrest here, that you're not shifted more to one side of the shoulder blocks. And then you always want to do a double check that those feet are hip distance apart there on that foot bar. When you're ready, take it to your toes, heels are lifted, exhale to push out. Good. And the feet should feel nice and warm since we just worked through our warm-up here. So do the best you can to apply every bit of weight through each of your toes into the foot bar and challenge your heels to stay in that nice upright position. Exhale takes you out, inhale to return. Perfect. Bring those heels together for your Pilates V or your first position. Toes are separated. Exhale to squeeze through those inner thighs. Take a lift up from your pelvic floor. Connect those ribs together, really drawing the belly button down towards the spine. Think of your arms reaching long, shoulders away from those ears, as if you're wearing a party hat on top of your head. The head reaches in one direction, the toes are reaching to the other direction. Bring the heels back to the foot bar. Wide second, so a wide V, turn those knees outward. And allow for the knees to track nicely with your shoulders here. So if you have a tendency to turn out a lot, you have that flexibility in your hips, challenge yourself to keep the knees in line with your shoulders. It's just going to help strengthen through those hips and the pelvis. Remember, all the footwork that we do here is helping to strengthen your ankles, your knees, and your hips. Let's bring it down to your toes. Elevate those heels, take an exhale, push out. We are emphasizing the hamstrings, so the back of the legs, and of course you're going to feel those quads, the top of your thighs as you're working through your footwork. Beautiful job. Keep nice and controlled, really moving with intention here. Let's bring it back to the center. Toes are on. We're going to push out. We'll drop those heels under for a nice stretch, and then we're going to go ahead, go into consecutive calf raises. Lift those heels with control, lower the heels. So we want to avoid any jerky movements or any bouncing through the body. Everything is very deliberate. Beautiful. Exhaling as you lift the heels. Inhale to lower the heels. Good. Take it into your prances or your running, whatever feels good for you today. Remember, prances and running is, again, a very controlled movement, so we want to keep our hips steady and quiet. One more stretch to drop those heels. And then return all the way back to the stopper. So carefully go ahead and sit yourself up. We're going to grab a hold of our standard box and we're going to place it on horizontal, or that we call short box. So push it up against the shoulder blocks so it's secure. Foot bar is going to go down. Leave the springs as is and grab that strap on your reformer. If you're taller, take that box and put them over the shoulder blocks here to allow for more room through your legs. Cross your arms here. Make sure you feel centered. We're going to keep the connection of our feet on the ledge. Exhale, articulate, round yourself back. Take a breath, scoop through the belly, re-stack up nice and tall. Beautiful. Ribs connect here, lacing them nice and tight. Lower back to that half rounded position. Exhale, return up. If it helps you, think about squeezing through those glutes here, scooping through your belly as you grow taller. And I like to keep my feet down on the ledge. It really helps me to connect deeper into my transverse abdominis, which is our deepest ab stabilizers. Good. And return back up. Perfect. So a nice flat back position. I'm going to take our hands, set them on top, fingertips to the shoulders, hinging back. Feel that shake. That's when you know you've hit your stopping point, and return back up. And it's so important here. Squeeze those glutes to assist you back up. It's like you're playing that game of trust. You're lowering back as a board. So if you feel like you're going back further than you were in that round back, just reassess where your position is. Are you maintaining that neutral spine? Good. Okay, from here, let's have hands behind the head. We're gonna rotate to the right, hinge back, or add a little tuck here. Whatever feels better for you. Neither is wrong, but focusing on the rotation and lean into it. Create this heaviness in your torso to allow for those internal and external obliques to work together. Hips are still grounded, feet are still connected. And let's bring it back down. Give it a nice stretch if that feels good for you. And return back up to sitting. Okay, so carefully, let's go ahead and step off. I'm taking it down to a red and a blue spring, which is 1.5 springs. Box is gonna come off to the side, and we can take our foot bar back up as well. I like to put it on that high bar. Lie yourself down, headrest can stay up if that feels good for you, and then grab a hold of the loops. Handles are fine, but just for the flow of today's workout, I'm gonna have the loops on. Tabletop those legs one at a time, and then exhale. We're gonna open out to a T and all the way up for nice mechanical circles here. Exhale, press down, open to a T, float up. Beautiful. Just really opening up through the shoulders and the chest once again. Challenging our neutral spine and our abs. Reverse when you're ready. Good. Exhale, pull it together and back up. Beautiful. Pressing down and float back up. If you'd like to extend those legs out, feel free to listen to what your body needs. If you'd like to add flexion, you always have the choice there. But for this workout, gonna keep it nice and basic, nice and simple, just to get the blood moving. Arms go out to a T, let's pull it back in. So we're just breaking down those circles that we already did. Nice, really point out energetically through your toes and really hug those knees together like you're holding onto a marble. Pay attention to your back. So if you feel like you are lifting it, imprint the spine. Let's take it to your triceps. So elbows in next to the ribs, soften the elbows, straighten out the arms. You should feel the back of the arm here heating up. And then be super careful to keep a nice, clean, neutral wrist here. Just notice this openness in your palm as your fingertips are reaching forward. Bring those arms right back up, rest your feet here. And then carefully, let's bring in one foot at a time into the loops for our hip work. Good, so spring tension is still 1 red, 1 blue, or 1.5 springs. If you'd like to go heavier, that's completely up to you. Parallel with the feet, we're gonna lower down and big circle around. So if you have the ability to circle wide, Go ahead and do that. If you notice that you're circling wide and the hips are starting to move, that is your cue to go smaller. Perfect. So just feel those legs opening up, those hips moving. Reverse when you're ready. We're creating mobility and fluid in the hip socket. So if you're feeling stiff there, this should feel nice and good. Helps to decrease discomfort in the low back as well. Let's lower back down, heels together, toes apart. So feel those inner thighs really wrapping inward and lifting up. Exhale, press down, inhale it up. You're hinging from the hip. Soften your shoulders. Just take inventory of your body. Inner thighs are the key here. Exhale, press down, hold it, bend in for frog, push it away. Use that big exhalation to press at that 45-degree angle. If you feel like your back is arching, just point up a little higher. Exhale, reach. Exhale, reach. Beautiful. Let's take our headrest down for our spinal articulation. Make sure you're off the shoulder blocks here. We're going to go right into short spine. So in that frog position, we're going to exhale to straight legs. Press your palms down, hinge forward into a rollover, peeling your spine off the mat. Keep that frog position to bend. Roll your spine down gently as you massage it. Tailbone connects. Exhale, push out to straight legs. Let those legs fall over, using your abs to peel up. Good. Again, short spine is all about control here. It's a great way to stretch out that low back. So if there's a position here that feels good to you and you want to just hang, go ahead and do that. Making sure your headrest is down completely flat though, that is key. Good. Let's take you out here one at a time. Find your foot bar right away, hanging that up. We're going to go ahead and keep our same spring tension, and we're going to go into a full body integration exercise, which is elephant. So let's support our heels against the shoulder blocks. Palms are on top of the foot bar. You're going to take an inhale to push that carriage back. Exhale, really draw that belly up and in to pull the carriage forward. So there's no movement in the upper body. It's just this hinge from the lower body. Now, if you have tight hamstrings and you can't keep your heels down or connected to the shoulder block, walk your feet forward. That's completely fine. Just making sure that you modify to your body height and flexibility. Let's step it off here. And then we're going to go ahead and drop it down to one red spring. Headrest is already down, so take a seat facing the back of the reformer. Hands are in the loops, nice and tall. Take it into a nice chest expansion. Exhale, widen the chest. Think of your arms as long levers as they wipe all the way back. Exhaling. Exhale. Beautiful. Again, we're avoiding momentum, anything too quick. Take it to a bicep curl, sitting up nice and tall. You may not be able to fully extend your arms depending on how long your straps are, but I do want you to focus on keeping your elbows in line with your shoulders, activating bicep and tricep together. Good. Puff that chest up a little bit more. You got it. And set that down. All right. So we're going to go ahead and turn ourselves around. And of course, with this series, you could always be sitting on a box. You could be kneeling. But for today, I'm going to be sitting on the reformer. Grab your loops when you're ready, and we're going to go ahead and serve the brownies. Palms are up, fingertips are reaching forward. Careful that you're not pulling your elbows back behind your torso, that they stop right next to your ribs to allow for that feeling that you're benefiting from the tension here. You're building resistance. Open up to hug a tree. Palms are looking at one another. There's a beautiful soft elbow here. And you're not opening up further than your peripheral vision. Beautiful. Exhale, pull those fingertips together, reminding yourself to grow out of those sits bones. If you feel yourself starting to collapse down. Nice open sternum. And then let's finish it with our salute. So pitch your body forward. Take those hands right to your eyebrows and then reach for where this wall and the ceiling meet. Elbows are wide, reaching in opposition, and you're activating and engaging through your triceps here. Deep exhale. Inhale to control. And our number here is anywhere from 6 to 10. Big circle around to pull ourselves in. Hang those loops up. Awesome. So far, let's go ahead. Take our foot bar down for side splits, and we're still on a red spring. Carefully go ahead and step on the ledge and then apply your right foot in the middle of the reformer of the carriage. Let's keep our arms out wide. So we're creating this heaviness through our arms. We're going to stretch it out into a split here, equally applying pressure through both feet and equally pulling the carriage in using our inner thighs, left and right. As you're pulling in, think of hugging that stopper there to get that activation just a tiny bit more. Inhale takes you out, exhale pulls you back in. Inhale it there, exhale just squeeze and pull in. Good. Carefully stepping back behind you, find that floor, walk it around, and again, right foot's going to step on the stable part first. Yes, and then left foot is on the movable carriage part. Arms to a T, shoulders down. We're inhaling to push out, squeeze with those inner thighs, growing taller. Good. Doesn't mean it has to be fast, but everything again is done deliberately, intentionally. Squeezing that stopper. Feel that pelvic floor lifting up in towards your abs, belly button to spine, a long neck. Good work. Arms down, carefully step behind you. Good, we'll take that foot bar back up, right into Mermaid. So go ahead and have a seat on your reformer. I'm going to crisscross the legs here. You can always sit crisscross applesauce, or if you have knee issues, you can sit on a box. Exhale to side bend over, really reaching your bicep over your ear, becoming parallel to the floor. One more, deep breath. Take an exhale here, hold. Once you're ready, if you have the ability to rotate, widen your grip there on the foot bar. Push your chest to the floor towards those springs, and then lift your chest to really open wide and drop it down. Good, 2 more. Just feeling those shoulders move down those back pockets as you lift your chest up to shine. Adjust your right hand back through the center carefully, lift up with your left. Let's grab a hold of the shoulder block next to you and do an oppositional stretch, side bend. And if that feels good, we can add rotation. So grab a hold of both shoulder blocks, lift yourself up like you're wringing yourself out like a towel, and then release. Nice. Let's take it to the other side. Set yourself up. Deep breath here to prepare, and exhale, stretch it over. It's a great way to take inventory of which side might feel tighter. Hopefully things are feeling a lot looser. This point. Rotate when you're ready. Adjust your hands to a nice wide position on the foot bar. Add your extension if that feels good. Obviously, this is optional. Reminding yourself to just allow those shoulders to drop away from the ears. Good. Lift. Push away. We're going to adjust that left hand back through center, lifting up with the right. Reach for the shoulder block. Give it a pull. And then if you'd like, adding that additional rotation here and carefully releasing. Let's find our box again. I'm still on that one red spring, which is like basically a medium spring. We're going long box, so keep your box vertical up against the shoulder blocks. You're gonna lie on your stomach, chest over the box. Feet are separated, especially if you have low back issues. And then we're gonna push out to straight arms. Inhale to come up for your swan prep. Nice and gentle here. We're energized through the legs. The toes are reaching in one direction, the fingertips are reaching the opposite direction. Lift your chest up, drop your shoulders. If you find yourself bending your elbows or not being able to lift up as high, then you know the range just needs to be smaller, and that's totally fine. We want you to stay in a range where you're completely benefiting yourself here. This is a great stretch through the low back, and it's also strengthening the entire backside of your body. Good. Lift and lower. Go ahead and come off carefully. Beautiful job here. We'll set that box off to the side. And we're going to take it in for one more stretch here into our Eve's lunge. So take it into a nice deep hip flexor stretch. This could be active, so you can lower it into a lunge, come up to standing, doing about anywhere from 2 to 3. Hold on your last one and come up. Let's take it to a hamstring stretch. So push out. Again, making this active. You could always just hold a static position. Rotating your right hip forward if you're not feeling it so much, and bring it in. Let's take it to the other side. Again, making sure that right knee is over your ankle, that it's not shearing in front. Really opening up your hip flexors. You just feel this in the front of your left hip, your psoas muscle. And then when you're ready, take it into your hamstring stretch, making sure that those hips stay squared and even. Good. One more here. And carefully, once you're ready, bringing yourself back in. Beautiful job there, guys. All right, let's finish it with a couple roll downs. So standing hip distance apart. Sweep those arms up overhead. Go ahead and roll yourself down. Connect those fingertips to the toes. Just really check in with your body, seeing how you feel. Big shoulder roll back. Beautiful job. One more time. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. If you did like the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe channel. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear it. Have a great day.